Topic of entrepreneurship. So about me, how I got into entrepreneurship. A few of you may know me, but many of you may not know me, but you may know my family members. For example, my father Shivashankar Bhatt. So he is the chairman and founder of this organization. So he works actively for the Havyaka community. So what you see 500 meters from here, Balapuri Vidyaganapati temple, is a nearby marriage hall and hostel is being built under his leadership. My wife Suprabha, your mothers may know her better. She is in the parents committee. My children, Shipra and Kshitisha, so they are in the second and first standard. You may see their posters in the hoardings around. My younger brother Santosh is in the management of Vivekananda institution for the last 15 to 20 years. So here I am. So my educational background, yes, I've done my computer engineering and MBA in marketing. So I would like to talk about my childhood, where you are spending your formative years presently. I was born in Bangalore, but grew up in Puttur. For the last 35 years, I am here at Puttur. It's a place I really love. I studied primary schooling at St. Victor's near Puttur bus stand. So at that time, that was the only institution offering English medium education. Now it is everywhere. So my parents, despite their financial difficulty, they made sure that I got admission into St. Victor's. The students were above average, like you all. You are in the best institution at Puttur. I was an average student. Maybe I was good, but the quality of the students around me, they made me feel that I was average. So I used to spend most of my time playing. So that time the competition was lesser, the pressure was lesser on us. We didn't have to attend extracurricular activities. So I used to play whole day. Outdoor games like cricket, badminton, indoor games like chess, carom. So it was easy. Then I went to high school. So that time Vivekananda was not there. I went to Philomena High School. It was nearby to my home. After high school, went to PUC again at Philomena. Now you guys will call it as 11th or 12th. So I was average at studies, but I had passion for science and maths. So out of my own interest, not to excel in the examination, out of my own interest, I used to learn those subjects. So I got slightly above average, say 80% plus during my 10th, and I got admission into science stream. So I thought I have arrived. So I used to look down on people who have not been able to get science, say commerce or arts. So I used to only focus on science. Only those who have done science are good. So one mistake what you guys should not do is respect all other branches. Everything is very valuable now. So I got into science. So it was very fascinating. I used to enjoy learning them. Naturally, I used to do well, but not in the examinations. But I used to understand the concepts. So I scored further above average score on my second PUC. I got below 60% in languages and biology, above 90% in physics, maths, and chemistry. But then there was engineering entrance exam called CET at that time. So where it is not about the examination pattern that we have generally, where it is about writing elaborative answers on the topics that we know. Here it is more application oriented. So to my surprise, I did extremely well there. I got 86th rank in the state, and I got admission into prestigious Jayachamrajendra College of Engineering, Mysore. So I opted computer science because it was more about mathematics and logic, so which is my cup of tea. So I used to excel in programming. I won a few programming contests. After engineering, after third year, I got selected through campus for Tata Elxsi. It was the second company to visit the campus. I immediately got in. So I worked there for 4 years. So that time my mom told, look, an engineering is not sufficient. If you have to excel in the career, you need to do an MBA. So far, it has been my natural ability which has got me thus far. Whereas for MBA, I need to do well in verbal ability, English language. So I have severe weaknesses here. So I need to study extremely hard. I tried 2 or 3 times. I couldn't clear the CAT examination for entrance into IIMs. IIMs for the popular B schools in the country. My mother had advised me to get into IIT, but I hadn't taken it that seriously for engineering. So now I didn't want to miss out. So I tried very hard. But because I had neglected English language during school, it was very difficult to catch up later. So in the fourth year after my engineering, I took a 3 months break, prepared extremely hard for verbal ability, and I thought this is my last attempt. I'm not going to attempt anymore. If not IIMs, at least the next level of B schools I need to get into, because my dream is to do MBA. If it is from IIM, it is great. Otherwise, I need to settle into second level. So that's how I got into NMIMS Mumbai. It's in the top 15 B schools in the country. So I had great exposure there. The colleagues or the classmates were excellent. They are all high achievers. So all throughout my career, and through my educational career, I had excellent classmates around me. So you are the average of 5 people around you. So you have taken a good decision to come to CBSE. So now, how entrepreneurship? So if people who have seen me during my childhood days, they find it very shocking that I'm an entrepreneur now. Because whatever qualities they thought an entrepreneur should have, I didn't have. But I'm an entrepreneur today. How did that transition happen? Well, initially, as I said, I liked science and maths. I used to label scientists, they are the best achievers in the society, others are useless. So then I got into engineering. So then MBA. So now I felt it's about management, because when we see people around us, we measure them economically, how forward they have become. So we have to excel in our career. So that's how I started respecting people in management who have done entrepreneurship. So I wanted to do entrepreneurship, but I didn't have the guts or the courage to get into it. So after MBA, I didn't get a good placement. It was the time of recession. The Lehman Brothers, ING, Vaishas of the world had collapsed. It was year 2008. So I got a below average job. I got selected as a professor of marketing at Jalandhar, lovely professional university. So I didn't want to go there. I had 3 months time before I joined. So I thought, let me work in my family business for 3 months. Let me give inputs to my parents how we can develop the business further. So then I said, no, I'm not going anywhere. I am going to continue the business. So that's how I got into entrepreneurship. So it was because of lack of options. So if you have a good career option, then you may not have chosen entrepreneurship, but I have been forced. Okay, regarding my brand, yes, Ranjita did a good job to explain what the brand is about. She explained that it's about coconut oil. So we pack in consumer packs, promote it for cooking. It is available in coastal region, Malnad region. Now we have entered into the Bangalore city. It's available on e-commerce platforms all over the country on Amazon. We are among the top 10 brands in the country, and those top 10 brands includes names like Parachute, Tata, Bajaj, Dabur. So we are doing extremely well online. Now, in the last 1.5 years, we have started a vegetarian restaurant to further promote the use of coconut oil for cooking. Yes, a few people are nodding their head. They have visited the restaurant, I believe. So it's just 500 meters from here at Nehru Nagar Junction, called Cocoguru Adige Mane. So we use only coconut oil for our cooking, which is very hard to find in any other restaurant. They don't use coconut oil. So this has been my journey in expanding the business. So I've been in entrepreneurship for the last 15 years, and I am liking it. It is full of ups and downs, but I am liking it. I have had my fair shares of failures and successes. I've told the successes, but I've had decent amount of failures, fair amount of failures also. Through these failures, we learn a lot. So I think I'm qualified enough to speak about entrepreneurship to you. Also, Puttur has many prominent entrepreneurs here. Maybe they didn't have the time to come here. They are busy chasing their growth agendas. Also, more why me? Because if I can get into entrepreneurship, then any of you can. So this should be the motivation to you. Now there are several types of entrepreneurships. So if you are a distributor of a brand, you are an entrepreneur. If you are a retailer, you are again an entrepreneur. But here I am. I have started a brand, built it to scale, achieved a decent amount of success. So this is about me. Now let us get into the real topic, that is entrepreneurship. Here I am focusing on the pronunciation. If you look at the spelling, you may pronounce it as entrepreneur, but that is not how it should be pronounced. It is entrepreneur. You need some practice to pronounce it that way. In our day-to-day lives, we don't use these words that often, so it's okay if you mispronounce. Even I myself might not pronounce it rightly all the time. This way of pronunciation. Now it originates from the French word entreprendre. So it means to start, to undertake, to work on a mission. That again is derived from Latin words entre and pentre. So, as per the Oxford Dictionary, this is the definition of entrepreneurship. So, you may have certain ideas. Okay, let us see. What do you mean by entrepreneurship? You would have heard about these words a few times. Anybody? Yes. Yeah, I know her also. Yes.
Entrepreneur is a person who finds any problem and tries to bring a solution about it, starts new business, and take his or her own risk for starting the business, and even enjoys the profit.
Yes. Very good. She is also very qualified to talk about this because she belongs to a very successful entrepreneurial family, Mulia group of companies. So she has explained it very well in a more elaborate manner. So sets up a business, takes a lot of risk, financial, emotional risk in the hope of future profit. Taking risk is certain, allocating resources is certain, future profit is uncertain. So this is the high risk that an entrepreneur takes. 9 out of 10 businesses fail. They don't go beyond the first year. So if you are there, it means that you are among the top 10. And then to scale, the funnel goes even narrower. So we see successful entrepreneurs, say her family, Maria, but there are more number of failures whom we don't see. Even they would have put in the same amount of hard work, taken same amount of risk. It's like digging gold in a gold mine. So you keep on digging, it's very hard. So some places you find gold, some places you don't. Doesn't mean that person who has not found gold is not good enough. He has also put in the same amount of effort. So there are some related words here, like entrepreneur. So he's a person. So like me or anybody who sets up a business. Entrepreneurship. Now this is the topic for the day. So it is the process of setting up a business. What is the mindset required? What are the skills required? What is the process to set up a business? Enterprise. This is the result. After all the entrepreneurship process, you set up an enterprise that collects inputs, processes, generates goods and services, sells it to the market, takes money, builds profits, grows the business. So this is an enterprise. Now let's understand the role of an entrepreneur in changing the world. Now that's what the entrepreneur is looking to do. He wants to improve the way of working. He wants to improve the world around him. So how does he do? Now, as a science enthusiast, I used to think it is the scientists who are bringing in the changes, who are changing the world. But scientists alone cannot do it. Somebody needs to build on top of it. Then comes an engineer. He builds practical solutions to real world problems using science. Let me explain with an example. So we drive our cars, scooters. So who has developed this? Is it scientists? Who? Who do you think? Who is responsible for bringing in these automobiles? Engineers. Okay, good. Any other answers? Experts. Yes. So somebody need to be expert in automobile technology. Okay. So it is through multiple stages. So first it is about scientific breakthrough. So earlier we had external combustion engines. External combustion engine is where fuel is burnt externally to the engine and the energy from the fuel, that is heat, is transferred into a piston to oscillate, and from there wheel is rotated to get the motion. So that is the technology that is used for mass public transports. For example, ships, trains. It cannot be used in a scooter or a car. We can't imagine an external burning of coal or a firewood to generate steam and then driving a car because the weight or the form factor is very high. So that's when the scientific breakthrough of internal combustion engine happened. So in an internal combustion engine, the fuel is ignited within the engine. Air with oxygen is drawn from the atmosphere, burnt inside the engine. So the form factor has reduced. It is very practical. Here we need to use liquid and gases as fuel. So with this scientific breakthrough, but we are still not the stage reached the stage of cars and bikes. So then an engineer or group of engineers, they worked out on building an internal combustion engine that is practical, that is cost effective, by using the right metals or alloys, having the right dimensions of the pistons or cylinders. So we have an internal combustion engine. It is still not good enough to bring to the market. Then we have some technologists who are building cars. Now, building car alone is not sufficient because it has to reach your home. So that's when an entrepreneur comes. So without entrepreneurs, we cannot have these products or services for ease of use. So what does an entrepreneur do? So he collects capital, his own capital, brings it from his friends, from venture capital, banks, wherever possible, he collects resources. He brings in a team of experts, somebody said experts, who are good in what they do, and he sets up a factory with an assembly line. He sources components from component manufacturers. He builds a car. Then it has to be delivered to you. Then there has to be a showroom where it has to be delivered, and it has to be shown to you. It has to be demoed to you, and then you will buy. After buying, you will use it. You will require some service, repair, maintenance, delivery of spare parts, supply chain for that. So all this needs to be brought in, and it has to be branded. Now you will have specific brands. Okay, I want to drive this car or that car. So it's an entrepreneur who builds a brand which you like, which you want to use. So the role of an entrepreneur in bringing this scientific discovery or this technology to you is that big. Let me tell you another example. We get a car, say for example Maruti Wagoner for 5 lakhs. It does this job. It burns fuel, it takes you from one place to another. So are you satisfied with that? No, many people have bigger ambitions. You want to own a say Porsche or a BMW or a Mercedes. Now the cost of this instead of 5 lakhs it may go up to 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crores. So do we pay that much for its features? Do you think it has much better features? Do you think? Yes, it has. But do you think it is that valuable that you need to pay 100 times more? Maybe it's just 2 times or 3 times better features. It may have a more efficient engine, it may have a bigger engine, it may have better features, airbags. But do you think these are the reasons why you own a Porsche car? It's to show your status. You are successful, you have arrived, you are different from others, you can afford it. So it's a status symbol. So who built this? Is it scientist or an engineer or a technologist? It's an entrepreneur who has built a brand. Now we see iPhones or Apple laptops. Who built that aspiration? We think about Steve Jobs. So he may be a programmer, he may be a developer. More than that, he is a marketeer, he is an entrepreneur. So it is he who brought this to us that we aspire for. So this is the role of an entrepreneur in the society. Can you say what is the role of an entrepreneur? What all does he do? Yeah, you want to say?
Managers and even contacts or keeps contact with the customers, gets many like changes what should be done in such product, any product. Like if it is a car, if they want to bring any more features, they contact the customers. If they don't keep up in contact with customers,
Hmm.
their business may come to loss. Like
Yes, so she is talking about the importance of maintaining the customer relationship, getting their feedback to improve the products and services. So this is a very essential role of an entrepreneur. Yes.
trying to bring uniqueness from other companies.
Yes, excellent. So an entrepreneur is not here to build a me too similar product what other companies have done. Either bring the cost down massively or do something different that is beneficial to the consumers. So innovation, bring in innovation, branding into the business. So that's a very good role of an entrepreneur. So this should be your passion with which you build businesses. Any boys? Two girls have spoken, so let's have equal participation. I know this is going to be a very boring session because this is something that you will do 10 years later in your life. But the seeds of that has to be sown now. You need to develop that mentality towards becoming an entrepreneur eventually. At your stage in my life, I didn't have any ambition, but that should not be the case now. You should have some ambitions. So if your ambition is towards entrepreneurship, this session is for you. So he will have a vision. He will see something that nobody else will see. He passionately believes in it. Everybody else will dismiss that idea, whereas he believes firmly in it. He will not listen to others. He has a strong conviction that this is going to work. Others will see hurdles, whereas an entrepreneur will see solutions. Others may focus on the hurdles, whereas he will see the goal. And these are just stepping stones. So he brings in lot of resources, mainly money. He is a leader. He brings in people. He gives them guidelines. He gives them roles and responsibilities. He gets work done from them. He delegates tasks. He does networking. He brings in suppliers, collaborators. He cannot do things alone or with his team. He needs support of the system. So he is a master at networking. Then, of course, various functions of the business, be it marketing, finding out the right product, branding, communicating the value to the customers, advertising, then sales, making sure that transaction happens, people buy the product, managing cash flows, collecting money, spending on the purchase, sharing it with employees, and then taking profit out of it, managing finances, developing the people. They have been assigned some role, so see what they are good at, develop them in their career. Now, generally, employees do the task what they have been assigned to do, whereas it is the entrepreneur who fuels the growth. He is not satisfied what is there presently. He looks for improvement. He looks for growth. Okay, so do you think it is worth taking up entrepreneurship based on what we have spoken so far? Okay, so many are saying yes, maybe to please me. Okay, if it is yes, why yes? Why do you think you need to become entrepreneurs? What is the benefit? Yeah, but no, how is it a benefit? Yes, what you said is right. He is ready to face the failures. He is not scared about failures. He is willing to take that risk. But what motivates a person to take up entrepreneurship? It's very obvious. You need to say that. Yes, profit, money. We want to drive luxurious cars. We want to build great homes. We want to show off to people around us that we have it. We are successful. We have our products and services which is being used by many people. So it's about the fame, status, showing of success, earning good amount of money for yourself, for the company, for the society. So this is what drives people towards entrepreneurship, despite the failures. 9 in 10 are failures. Many more are failures, or they are average. There will be very few successes. For example, a social networking site like Facebook, it is a success. But before that, there were 14 other social media sites which were all failures. Okay, what else drives people towards entrepreneurship? The real entrepreneurs, they will have another motivation. What is it?
So, you will change in the society.
Yes. So, is to bring a betterment in the society. Is to change the way we live. I gave an example of internal combustion engine or external combustion engine. So we used to travel in public transports, in train from Puttur to Bengaluru via Shiradi Ghat. So I want to travel alone or at the time I want. So for that I need a personal vehicle. So how do we do that? So we need to build a vehicle. We need technology. So an entrepreneur will bring in this change. When iPhones came, before that it used to be text-based mobile phones. So iPhone introduced a smartphone which performs multiple functions which a computer used to perform. So they have brought in a change in the society. So this is what motivates. More than money, the motivation is to drive a change in the society. So well said. Any other motivation? What drives an entrepreneur? Money is a side effect. This is the main.
Do you want job opportunities for the citizens of the country?
Now, I slightly disagree with this one. That is not the motivation, that is a side effect of entrepreneurship. He gives a lot of jobs to the people.
Give better quality and
Yes, it's similar to what she said. It's to bring a change in the society. More than what is there present, I want to give a better quality product. Say, Bhagavi's father, he will give a better quality service to his patients. So you will be allowed to pursue your passion. So if you are working somewhere, you have to do what they say, ask you to do in a way they say. Whereas if you are on your own, if you are taking up entrepreneurship, you can pursue your passion. You are passionate about something, you are free to pursue it. Generate wealth is profit. You have the freedom and flexibility. For example, it's a working day today. I have the flexibility and the freedom to come and talk to you. After this session, I am going on a personal travel to Ooty. So this is my freedom, flexibility. Growth and development is bringing better quality products. So grow yourself personally. You are the own restriction for your growth. There is nobody else to restrict you. So if you want to chase hyper growth, you are able to do that. Pride or joy? Yes, I have done something. I'm very proud about that. This is the sense of satisfaction that an entrepreneur feels. And this is what drives him. Choose people to work with. Generally, we don't have that choice. Whereas an entrepreneur, he interviews and selects people of his choice, and he can work with them because the thoughts should be aligned. It's a thrilling experience. There will be ups and downs. You face failures, you face successes. You have to take it equally. So, Bhagavi, I know you know Bhagavad Gita. Can you recite the second chapter, 14th shloka? So, this is about how do we handle success or failure. Anybody else knows Bhagavad Gita, second chapter? So it says, Matra spashastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkadaha, agama paino nityaha, tam stitikshasva bharata. Shita ushna, so heat and cold. Sukha dukkha, happiness and sorrow. So this is, in all those times, you need to maintain your equanimity. Krishna is saying Kaunteya, son of Kunti or Arjuna. An entrepreneur should live by this sloka day in and day out. Every time may not be success, every time may not be failure. So it goes in cycles. Say seasons, winter, summer, they happen alternatively. Winter will not last, nor will summer. Let's improve the standard of living, create jobs, develop the economy. For example, my organization, it has employed 70 people across the two units, coconut oil mill and the restaurant. So I have given direct jobs to 70 people. And then indirect jobs. I have several distributors so who are working, though independently, but they are running their livelihood. We pay taxes, we donate, we give business to our suppliers. So that's how the economy around us improves. Social impact, so betterment of the society. Say we plant trees, we do not pollute the environment, we rather purify them, we donate to the temples nearby. I'm sure Molia group does a lot of these activities. So this is the motivation for entrepreneurship. Now, why not entrepreneurship? So if this is so nice, why should not we take entrepreneurship? Why can't everybody be entrepreneurs? Why not? What are the disadvantages? What are the challenges? Can everybody do it? Yes.
lack of skills.
Yes, lack of skills. Okay, let's come to what are the skills required for entrepreneurship later. That time. What's your name? Pooja. Very good. Okay. Yes, everybody may not be skilled to take up entrepreneurship. What else stops you from doing it? Capital. Everybody doesn't have the adequate capital. They may not be doing well financially. Yes, confidence. Yes, sometimes we may not have skills. Even if we have the skills, we may not have the confidence. We may not have the courage to take it up because there is a fear of failure. So, what if we fail? How will the society view us if we fail? How will we take care of our family? It's a massive risk. What else stops us from taking entrepreneurship? You may have different, yes.
Nervousness.
Yes, the lack of courage, what she has told, nervousness. Yes. Okay, so good set of answers. So uncertain income. So what money you put in is certain, but how much you will earn is uncertain. If the business goes into losses, you will not earn anything, or it may make meager profits. It's uncertain. So are we willing to live through uncertain? But we have to pay our school fees. We need to pay for our food, which is certain. So can we live with uncertainty? Business may be seasonal. For example, our restaurant, when the tourist season, when the schools are in holiday mode, we have more business. When you have exams, we have less business. So can we live through this uncertainty? Market risk. So whatever passion we choose to pursue, it may not be required by the market. The market for that may be declining. For example, I am in coconut oil. The market for it is declining in this area. People are moving towards refined oils because they are cheaper. The doctors advise that that is better or it's easily available. Or we may not have to bear the smell of coconut oil. Market may change anytime. Say Nokia, at one time it was a market leader. Then the smartphones came, they didn't adapt, and it became a massive failure. Workload, nobody has told. It's a massive amount of workload. There are no working hours, there is no work life balance. It's your personal dream. Others may not subscribe to it, they may work for only money, whereas you're pursuing your passion. So, wherever the gaps are there, you need to feel it yourself. So, are you willing to take this much of workload? Stress. Not everybody is very cooperating. Things may not turn out as we expect, so which leads to a lot of stress. Are we able to handle this? Lack of time. It's been 1.5 years since I started the restaurant. I like to go out on weekends, but for last 1.5 years, there has hardly been any time. My wife looks after our children. She has not found any time. She used to work from morning 5 a.m. to night 11 p.m. and then look after our children, look after the family. So this is the kind of load, stress that an entrepreneur needs to put in. So these go behind the scenes. What we see the success later, this cannot be seen. So it's a responsibility. You are responsible for all the stakeholders around you. You deliver a product, customers should be satisfied about it, and you are responsible. For example, your employee does something, but you are responsible. You cannot blame, okay, my employee did it this way, so I don't know. You are responsible. Your employees are not finding enough amount of work, so you are responsible. You are responsible for paying taxes. You are responsible for running the business profitably. So it's a massive amount of responsibility. Okay, Pooja. So you said we don't have the necessary skills. You can sit down. Qualities required for becoming an entrepreneur. So let's discuss what are the qualities an entrepreneur needs to have.
Speaking skill so that he can satisfy the other person with his deed or something.
Yes, he requires good communication skills. Speaking is one part of it. He needs good communication skills. He is a leader. He needs to bring people together to pursue his vision. So he needs to communicate effectively. He may speak, he may write, he may send by WhatsApp, he may write standard operating procedures, he may write documents. So it has to be communicated. Everybody should be in the same page. So he needs to be an excellent communicator. So which is a soft skill. So I'm sure the school has done a lot of training for you in this area.
Correct.
Courage, yes. Now this is neither a hard skill nor a soft skill. Now this is a typical entrepreneurial quality. He needs to have courage. The whole world may be standing against him, but he needs to have the courage within him. It's a mental ability. It's independent of the skill or anything for that matter. He needs to have the courage, yes.
Leadership.
Leadership, because he will be taking a lot of people along with him. So they need to subscribe to his theory. Yes.
Great answer. Respect.
Give respect and take respect. Yes, like I said, I used to respect only people who are pursuing science or who are engineers. So we need all type of people to work. We need chartered accountants, lawyers, laborers. So we need to give respect and take respect. Taking respect will automatically come.
We should have different vision from others.
Yes. So somebody told about, I think Pooja told about innovation. So we need to do something different from what the others are already doing. So we need to be ready to innovate.
We need to have a skill which attracts other people identify.
So the product should be good enough by which people will automatically look to buy it.
Hard work.
Yes, very good. So this is the trait that is required. Till the result is achieved, we should be willing to put extreme amount of hard work. It's very easy to say this hard work, but you put in when the odds are against you, it's extremely difficult. Hard work. Now you may not have capital, you may not have the resources, but you can put in the hard work and make up for it. Hmm. It's not enough to just have a product. You need to communicate that it is existing and the buyers should feel that it is valuable. So you need to be able to advertise. Advertising can be through several mediums. It could be TV, social media, verbally, personal selling, any means, and all of them put together also many times.
We should not be overconfident.
Yes. So many times an entrepreneur is too confident about his vision, his idea, that he doesn't listen to the market what it wants, and he or she tends to get overconfident and may not be able to practically deliver the results. So it should be practical. Listen to the market.
Patient person.
Patience, yes, just like hard work. He needs to have the patience. He needs to have the resilience against all odds.
Management.
Management skills. So we deal with lot of resources, say capital, that is money, people, machineries, raw materials. So all of these need to be managed. So he needs to have the organization and the management skills to drive the organization. Determined, yes. So somebody said hard work, patience, determination, discipline. So I feel these are the more important qualities. Okay, so very nice to see good amount of participation from you all. So it motivates me to take this session forward. So I listed down a few of the qualities required. These are only a few, these are not all. So on one side is the qualities of a typical entrepreneur like hard work, discipline, resilience, passion, vision, innovation. So these are some of the typical characteristics. Along with that, he needs to also have some hard and soft skills. Now, hard skills are about science, maths, business, commerce, these kind of skills which can be learned by reading textbooks or doing experiments. Then there are soft skills, which your school is giving a lot of emphasis on developing. Communication, delegation. So you cannot do all the work alone. You need to delegate it to your team members to get work done from them. Many times it's easier to do the work yourself than to get it done. But still we need to get done things from people. Networking, we need to deal with different kinds of people to get work done. Decision making, I emphasize decision making here. The decisions need not be perfect. Many times we fall to this trap. In order to find the perfect decision, we take a lot of time. But quick decisions are more important than taking perfect decisions. It may be wrong, we can course correct it, but we need to take decisions on the spot. So here I would like to be a little bit preachy, that to give some advice to you all, because it's not enough if you are inspired to become entrepreneurs, but be entrepreneurs in the right way. Now, nation has a long way to go. It is still a developing country. It needs to get developed. So it requires too many entrepreneurs to work on this. The government is also there to support you, but it should be done in the right way. Okay, so do we do business the way it is being done? No, everybody agrees that it has to be done differently. So how? So it should be based on following the law. Now law has been laid down in the constitution and followed by the lawmakers. So we need to obey the law, respect the law, follow the law. Now it is being there not to put restrictions on you, but to not disturb others in the society. So you have to be within the law. There is law, there is ethics. Ethics is your moral responsibility. It is not enforced upon you, but you need to live by it on your own. Now, for example, to understand law, yes, there are some traffic guidelines. So, if you follow the traffic guidelines, it will be easier for others also to go on the same road. If you don't follow it, it becomes difficult. Now, ethics. For example, in our restaurant, we don't give any leftover food from previous day the next day. The law doesn't specify this, but true to our conscience, we believe this should be the way. So this is what something that you define for yourself. So I mentioned the word quality. So we need to deliver quality products. So it need not always be high quality. It could be medium quality also. But can somebody define what is quality? It's a little difficult. Can anybody attempt? What is quality? It is about delivery, yes, Pooja.
It should make useful resource that everyone can access.
Hmm. Partially right. So it is something that we state and that you deliver. Suppose I say I deliver you pure coconut oil, so it should be pure. So what you state. For example, I sell a wagon or car. So some people may not feel it is of high quality, but I have promised certain features and I need to deliver on that. So that is maintaining quality. For example, I have a restaurant and I say I will offer you good taste, but I will not offer you hygiene, cleanliness, freshness. I don't guarantee you, but I promise you good taste. So I am delivering on my quality. So what you state, you need to deliver. So that is quality. So everybody cannot run five-star restaurants. People cannot go and afford them. So whatever you define, you need to follow. So it should be based on trust and truth. There should be transparency. You need to care for people around you. Pay your taxes. Generally, entrepreneurs or businessmen are not looked at rightly. What do you feel when you see a businessman who is very successful? Do you feel, oh, he's great, or do you feel something else? He must have accumulated that wealth through unfair means. Now, for example, politically, we say think a lot of things against Adani, Ambani. They are manipulating the system. They are generating wealth. They are hoarded wealth that belongs to common man. We think so many things. So we don't always say, "Oh, he's an entrepreneur. He has brought a change in the society." Somebody rides a big car. So we feel, why can't it be distributed to poor people around him? So we have this belief because not every entrepreneur around him is clean, has done it in the right way. There are many illegal activities that he might have done. So whenever you take up entrepreneurship, do it in the right way. Bring respect to this profession of entrepreneurship. It's a huge risk and task. Clean, maintain cleanliness. For example, in your school, make it litter free. Similarly, in your organizations, now you have a lot of power. You are responsible for so many people. So you lead by example. Make it litter free. Make it clean. Make it green. You have some piece of land. Plant a lot of trees. It's very essential. Yes, there may be some drawbacks. Then the roots may come. It may intrude into the building foundation. The leaves may fall. It may be dirt for you. But we need to learn to coexist with the nature. We need to accommodate them. We have taken their space, they have not taken our space. We see a lot of monkeys coming around our gardens. It's because we have taken their space. What was forest earlier, we have come and occupied them. Don't pollute the environment. Say as a restaurant, we generate a lot of wastewater. We do sewage treatment of that and leave out only clean water. Don't use massive resources, even though the resources may be cheap. control the use of resources. Don't waste. So this is the responsibility also which I would like you to follow when you take up entrepreneurship. Now following all this in this day it's very difficult to make money, but make it a habit. We feel the government is not doing enough, they are corrupt. But it is doing several things. We see only the negative parts. I'm not for or against any government here, I'm not being political here. So we need to respect what the government is doing for us. So if any new entrepreneur comes, so they give subsidies, they encourage him to take up entrepreneurship. For example, when I set up a new coconut oil mill from the central government, from the Coconut Development Board, I got 25% subsidy on the investment on plant and machinery and building. So which was very helpful at that time. I thank the government for this. Recently, there is an MSME scheme wherein if the supplier or if our customer doesn't pay within 45 days, the MSME department from its side will help us in the recovery. This way, I could recover about 16 lakh rupees from a customer through the government help, which otherwise he would not have paid. Now, we have seen demonetization. I think you guys were still in your first or second standard. So after that, a lot of changes have happened in the financial system, which are good for the business. For example, UPI, it's a cashless transaction. It is very easy. Every small outlet, vegetable shop, fish stall, small hotel, everybody is accepting payments through UPI. So this brings in transparency in the financial transactions. Implementation of GST. Earlier there were 17 different taxes. All of them have been removed and one single GST has been brought into place. Now my business has been there for the last 12 years, and for the first 5 years I used to deal with VAT and several other taxes, central sales tax, value-added tax, service tax, excise duty. Now all of them have been subsumed into single GST. Despite its challenges, it is being made very easy. Government is spending a lot on infrastructure. It's making highways, bridges, making electricity available, making water supplies available. Without our taxes, government will not be able to do it. Yes, there is a lot of wastage, there is a lot of corruption. We need to hold the government accountable for that. We need to elect suitable governments, but we need to support the government also. Income tax has been made very easy. We get refunds very quickly. Earlier it used to take 2-3 years. Labor welfare. Laborers are given a lot of social security, ESI, PF, pension, minimum wages, holidays, overtime wages. Digital India. Now many of the licenses need not be brought physically. It can be shown through an app, DigiLocker. So digital infrastructure is being improved. So this helps doing business easier. In order to do business, we need to be within the legal framework. So the justice has to be delivered quickly. So the government is doing a lot of work on that direction also. So appeal to you is pay taxes. Now we say government is not doing its job. It's not only government. Government is a representation of the people who we are. Now our employees, they also need not do the work that is assigned to them. For example, you have been given certain tasks. You also may not do it completely. You may do it partially. But we don't blame you. But then why do we blame the government? Okay, so this is about entrepreneurship. Yes, you have something.
So, what is the full form of MSME?
Okay, good question. So, MSME is micro, small, medium enterprises. It's about the size of the business. It's about the investment in plant and machinery for that business. I'm not very sure about the numbers. For example, if it is less than 1 crore, it is a micro unit. If it is less than 5 crores, it's a small unit. If it is above 5 crores, it may be a medium unit up to 500 crores. And thereafter, it's a large unit. So, government, based on the size of investment, it has classified and they give you a Udyam Aadhar card which identifies you as a small business, MSME. UPI, Unified Payment Interface, GST, Goods and Services Tax. Yes, so this is the difficulty. I'm talking about entrepreneurship and business. to a high schooler. So there are so many jargons which you may not understand. That's why you guys are a little restless. But you will learn this initially, eventually. This is just a trigger for you to take up entrepreneurship. You need not learn all these concepts now. Yeah, how can we develop our entrepreneurial qualities? How can we go about this at your stage? What do you think you can do to help you become entrepreneurs 10 years later? Yes.
Being very ambitious and passionate towards it.
Yes. Yes, we need to have a goal. We need to think. We need to dream. Whatever be the reality, we need to dream. Eventually, they may come true.
So reading some books written by them or see about like learning about them on the internet or
Yes. So there are so many resources. The successful entrepreneurs, they don't want only themselves to be successful entrepreneurs. They want next generation, everybody also to become successful like them. So they will write about their experiences, about their learnings in books, in blogs, in newspapers, in YouTube videos, or they will come and talk. So we need to be receptive to them.
learn its ups and downs.
Yes. So recognize that there will be ups and downs. Be prepared for it mentally.
We have to learn skills.
Yes. Yeah. When we talked about skills, I think I missed that part. So there are some hard skills and soft skills. So hard skills is about learning the different functional aspects of business, how to do business, marketing, sales, finance, HR, legal aspects of business, commerce, taxation, accounting, learning about the industry where we operate. For example, I'm in the coconut oil industry, learning about edible oils, what are the other edible oils, what are they good for, how do different industries operate, who are our competitors, what are their strengths and weaknesses, what are the gaps. These are some of the hard skills. And soft skills is communication, that thing I think I've gone through. Yes. So you can develop some of these skills. So next month's Chetana, if it is about soft skills, take it very seriously. Work on it. Yes. What else can you do to become successful entrepreneurs later? Yes.
Giving new features.
Giving new features for
Like for anything. Like an entrepreneur can do anything. Like he's a businessman of cars or something.
okay.
Improve our leadership quality and mental performance.
Yes. So to improve our leadership qualities, even at school, we can develop this. Now each person will be given you certain tasks, so you can take ownership of it, get things done from people around you. So I think monthly each person is made a leader. So you show your leadership there, you train yourself, you do some activities, school day, you organize a dance program. So through these you can develop your leadership skills.
Develop our vision towards the country or towards the society like going towards bringing a change in the society or the change in the economic condition of the country.
Yeah. So we need to see where we are economically right now, where we need to go, what are the gaps in the society, where you can bring in a change, and how you can bring in a change. So keep thinking about this. So many of these points have been already been told. So you need to dream, observe, read, learn, work towards it. Now you can take up a few projects or assignments. Now, for example, during my days, I didn't dream of becoming an entrepreneur, but I had developed certain hobbies which are about doing business. For example, I used to collect stamps. I have a few stamps. If I have them extra, I used to exchange with other stamps, and I have a massive stamp collection of about 7 or 8,000 stamps. So here you are doing some kind of trading or a business in building your stamp collection. So you can develop these kind of activities. Or if you take up sport, try to organize a sports event, collect sponsorship from companies, make some profit out of it. So there are many resources available nowadays, so you can go through them. So we can take up some questions based on whatever is the time remaining. So I thank all of you for your active participation. I didn't expect this kind of a participation from high schoolers like you. I'm very happy about that. That you're all very enthusiastic future entrepreneurs. Yes. What is your question?
Was Cocoguru formed at which year?
Which year? Okay. So my father started coconut oil business in 1972, which is good 50 years before. That was in Tamil Nadu, Dharmapuri district. That was with my uncle. From there, after marriage, he came back to Puttur and started Sri Rama Industries, a small unit at Puttur town in the year 1988. It's about 35 years back. Then I completed my MBA in 2009 and I came back, and that's when I formed this brand Cocoguru. So it's in the last 15 years. So for more information, we have our website cocoguru.com where we have explained many things about ourselves. So thanks for your interest. Yes.
What made you to become an entrepreneur?
Okay. Yeah. So I have explained in the beginning how I have become an entrepreneur because of lack of any other option. If not an entrepreneur, I should have become a professor at Lovely Professional University teaching marketing. That was among the last of my choice. So it was a recession, I had no other choice. I got a salary which was lesser than what I used to get before MBA. Also, somewhere I had a dream that okay, I need to become an entrepreneur, but I lacked the courage, the conviction, the risk taking ability. But I had no other option. So it was a blessing in disguise, and here I am. Yes.
What inspiration did you get by becoming an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so I took inspiration from my father. So with lack of any resource, financial resource, with lack of any government support, he built and scaled the business. So I look upon inspiration from him. And of course, there are many new age internet entrepreneurs who have raised venture capital and built businesses very shortly to a massive scale. We see the Zomatos, the Facebooks, Googles of this world. So I take inspiration from them. But I have my own limitation, so I will do accordingly. Yes.
Who is your idol?
Yes, I have multiple, like I have said right now. So my father, successful entrepreneurs around me. So I may not take all the qualities from one person. For a few ideas, I would pick up them from different people. Okay, so I feel you are all very happy that the session is ending. So it's time for lunch. I know you are all feeling very hungry. So even I am waiting. I need to go to so yes. I am available. My children are studying here. I keep coming to school every day. Wherever you meet me, you can ask me anything. I am there to support you. I am here. I am at Puttur. I am hardly 500 meters from here at a restaurant. Okay, so thanks to all the students for your active participation. Thanks to the faculty and management for providing this opportunity. So it was a great privilege. Thank you. Have a good day.